Hello students, welcome to EC Engineering. And this video explains you the electronics experiments in engineering practices lab titled with measurement of ripple factors for half wave and full wave rectifier. So this is our objective. First we need to know what is a rectifier and how to get a ripple free output from a rectifier with and without a filter. And we do measure an ripple factor also. While moving to the experiment, the important components required are multimeter, CRO, transformer, diode, resistor, capacitor, breadboard and connecting wires. So we'll see what is half wave and what is full wave rectifier. And this video gives you the half wave rectifier circuit alone. In the next video we will see the full wave rectifier. So what is a rectifier means? Rectifier is a circuit which is used to convert AC into DC. For the conversion we are in need of a diode because diode is an unidirectional. So in order to couple an AC circuit with an DC conversion, we need a coupling with an transformer. This is a step down transformer so that a AC 230 volt single phase is given to the primary winding of the transformer, and due to the step down transformer we will get 0 to 12 volt. This 12 volt is essential to operate an electronic circuits. So this is an electronic circuit where we have a diode with a 12 volt supply. Obviously anode to cathode it allows the current to flow. During the reverse operation it will not allow the current to flow, so that the conduction is only through one direction. That's why the applied AC here is converted into DC in an output side. So in order to absorb the DC we will have some load, let it be a 1 kilo ohm resistive load. So in order to absorb the DC and then waveforms, we need an CRO to show the output in a waveform. So measurement of an values is measured through the across an 1 kilo ohm resistor using an multimeter. So using a multimeter we have seen an values here. In order to see the waveform we need an CRO to make the things fine. So what is the need of an next circuit means with filter. Obviously if you are applying a sinusoidal signal like this, we are getting an half wave rectifier. It conducts only one half of the circuit. So during an consequent positive conduction, this seems to be the DC, but it is not exactly the DC. DC is like an dashed line, means an horizontal line. In order to get this perfect DC, we need this capacitor. So what is the role of a capacitor here? This capacitor is act as a filter to filter out the ripples. To filter the ripples and gives an DC. So the DC is not pure without an filter. Now we will see in a demo what will happen while we are connecting it with some 100 microfarads and some 1000 microfarads of an filter across the load circuit. Well students, next we will see the breadboard connectivity. This is a breadboard where we have where to connect the circuit. See here in a breadboard bottom side we have a metal strips from left to right and a small portion of vacancy here, then a metal strip continues. So there should not be any contact over left side and the right side in a metal. Similarly in a top and then bottom side of an horizontal strips. See here a horizontal strip with a positive and a negative marking. It is so called a par rail where we are connecting and supply. So இங்க தான் நம்ம supply voltage connect பண்றோம். Once connect பண்ணிட்டோம்னா the metal contact எங்க இருக்குமோ means the 5 rows. It has 5 holes in a one bunch. Similarly, we have 5 bunches. Throughout the 5 bunches having a connection, but not here in the mid portion. So in the top portion horizontally from left to right we have connection, negative as well as positive. So negative supply is given here and we could take either of the holes in the above 25 holes, but not in the mid portion. Similarly, there should not be any contact between left side and the right side. So that's a different, right side different power rail, left side top different power rail. Hopefully you can understand. Now in the bottom also the same cases. But in the cases of a mid portion, see here the 50, we have 5 holes vertically. 5 holes vertically. Now if you are connecting either of one hole, you could make a contact with 5 holes. See here a vertical metal strip. Vertical metal strip. So you can make use of all the 5 connections for single purpose. அதில் ஒரு இடத்துல கனெக்ட் பண்ணிட்டோம்னா எல்லா இடத்துலயுமே கான்டாக்ட் இருக்கும். So this is the concept. All the metal strips in the horizontal links are connected together. See the 55 now all the things are connected. See here all the things are connected. Even though there is an hole in between. See the vacuum space in between the vertical top and vertical bottom. So what is the purpose now? This is connectivity for IC. So if you have an IC like this, dual in-pin IC, we can connect the IC like this. So for this purpose only we have that. Well students, now we will see how to connect. See, this is a transformer. The right side is a secondary side where we are giving an supply to the electronic side. Then an electrical supply is given through the left side. Okay. Well and good. We'll see how to connect the things. This is a diode IN4001. The black side in the left is an anode and the right side we have a metal strip. Now that is an cathode. Let us see how to connect the transformer. This is a step down transformer where primary is connected to the supply and secondary is connected to the rest of the electronic circuit. Now the primary is connected to the supply. See here in the secondary side we have 2 terminals. One is connected to the anode of an diode. How to give one connectivity? See here we are having a breadboard. Now connect on either one of one vertical strip, either one of the vertical strip, top side and bottom side. The thing is top side, here a connection is given to anode and bottom side to the negative. See here a metal strip, left side anode, metal strip, white color seems an cathode, gives an cathode. Now the whole connection is given to the anode and the rest of the things is given either of an vertical strip, either one of the vertical strip. The thing is at the vertical strip where the cathode is connected, there we need to give an 1 kilo ohm resistor. So the resistor is connected in between cathode 1 where the vertical line is there. Then the rest of the terminal, next terminal is connected to the secondary. Like this we have to make an connections in a breadboard for half wave rectifier. Well students, now we will see how the breadboard connections for the half wave rectifier is made in an breadboard connections. Primary is given. Now the secondary is given to the circuit. Say some step down voltage is given to the anode and the cathode gives an single point of contact, means positive cycle only it conducts and it is connected to the RL load. Accordingly, the second terminal of the RL load is connected to the secondary side of an transformer. Now we are going to measure the values. What are all the values that you have measured in a Now we are going to see the multimeter readings across the output side. So the input side we are giving an VS, secondary voltage, as an AC, but after an things we are getting an DC. See the multimeter measured with an AC. So the knobs are varied here. Now we are measuring an secondary RMS voltage here. Now the voltage source 10.61 volt. Now we are measuring an voltage across the now the VDC measured in a multimeter is 4.39, so that we can easily observe the ripple factor VAC by VDC as 1.26. Actual value of the ripple factor in half wave rectifier theoretically have a value of 1.21. Practically we got 1.26. Now how to measure the values using a digital storage oscilloscope DSO. See here it is set with a 0 initial condition. We are connecting an CRO probes across an 1 kilo ohm load resistor. Channel 1 is connected. We have two probes, one for measuring an AC voltage. So this is a sinusoidal AC voltage appears across the things. Peak to peak voltage gives you the amplitude. See 1, 2, 3 subdivisions. So 3 subdivisions are there. So first we are taking a reading for measuring an peak to peak voltage, which has an channel 1 peak to peak number of vertical divisions into voltage per. Number of vertical divisions 30.89 and its channel divisions are 10. So the peak to peak voltage is 30.89 volt. It's observed in a channel 1 amplitude right upper corner. It is shown here. So from this peak to peak voltage is Vm equal to VPP by 2. It is 15.445 volts that we have observed from an CRO. Now we'll see how to find the time period. Through time period, how to find the frequency. So frequency is equal to 1 by time period. So how much of time it required from peak to peak means a positive cycle, starting from positive cycle to negative cycle to complete one cycle. To complete one cycle, how much of time it requires. So means adjust the position and set right the settings and try to find from peak to peak. It has a positive half cycle and a negative half cycle whole time period in a horizontal way. Let us observe the things from first half to second half. It is 10 meter per meter second. So number of horizontal divisions 2 into time division per time per division. So the whole time per divisions here, time period equal to number of horizontal divisions into, which is equal to 1 by 20 millisecond. So 2 into 10 meter per second, which gives an 50 hertz. It is already shown in a DSO also. Now we will make one more channel to observe the output waveform. So connect a probe in a channel 2 and observe the output DC across a load. See here. So making a time division, merge both. So we get an blue color as an input sinusoidal signal. Yellow color is an output DC voltage. See here a minute difference. Higher input, lower output. This minute difference is due to the silicon made diode. So because of a silicon made diode, we have 0.7 volt drop. Because of that drop only, we have a peak amplitude difference between an blue color input and an yellow color output. A minute difference. It's a 0.7 volt of minute difference should be there. That's why an input AC sinusoidal signal is converted into DC only positive off cycle. Because of an one diode, it conducts only during a positive off. The negative off cut off. That's why a rectifier converts AC into DC. So Vm equal to 15. We already known the things and make an calculations for a ripple factor. Maximum voltage equal to 15.05 volt. Then observe our values. Vrms equal to Vm by 2. It is given in a formula. So Vm by 2, 0.05 divided by 2, it is 7.5 volt. VDC equal to Vm by pi, that is 4.77 volt. That's why we observed Vm. From Vm we calculated Vrms. from the formula VDC equal to Vm by pi. So we observed the values as 4.77 volt. Now we will calculate the ripple factor for an half wave rectifier. Okay, all the readings were given in a tabulations. First we will observe with reading, then without filter reading. Without filter, I will explain you later how we are observed this maximum value and VRMS. So observe the readings and make a note it down in an observation notebook. See here, now again a probe is connected, where we are connecting in second channel across a load resistor. Now across the load resistor, I am going to connect to one capacitor for filter purpose. This is an 100 microfarads of capacitor connected across the load. Definitely you will feel the difference. See, we have a DC voltage. So with this zero reference line, it is shifted upwards. Upwards. See, that is an VD. Now we can change the amplitude. You feel the differences. We have a seems differences. VDC shifts upwards and it seems like a DC, not perfect horizontal line, but due to some ripples we have an sawtooth like wave, not exactly DC. So that now we are going to change the capacitor with higher capacity, 1000 microfarad. Now we can see the capacitor pure DC. Thank you students. Hope you can understand the concept.